Hi everyone. So today I want to share with you how I have been warming up for drawing. So let's do it. Let's warm up together. I saw most of these techniques, I believe, from Baylee. She's got two channels. Hold on, let me see which one is the correct channel. And Baylee Jae is her art channel. So on her channel, Baylee Jae, she shared some warming up techniques, and the ones that really stuck with me were cross-hatching. And the reason I started thinking about that was, where is it at? Maybe not. Maybe it's not back here. I just felt like, I would make really great drawings one day, and then the next day the drawings would be terrible. So I sat down and I thought about warming up and what does that mean? How can it affect me? Does it really work? And so I drew this one first with a Pitt artist pen, I believe. Maybe it might have been a Sakura Pigma brush pen. I'm not sure. One of those two. So I sat down and I drew this, and of course I didn't really like it. It's okay. And then I kept going. I drew this. And these are all with reference. So there's at least that baseline of the same material used and reference used. I started to like this one a little bit more. It felt a little bit more natural and loose. And then I went forward and I actually got more realistic details in the face, which I like. And it still felt loose. And then I got to this one, which was a mix of like loose and structure, real and stylized. And I love these two so much. And I thought, wow, maybe I really do need to warm up instead of going, all in. So I found her video, and later on in here somewhere, so I started to try warm-ups. There's a warm-up where you hatch and you you draw lines basically, and you fill in the lines. I also wanted to practice hatching in preparation for Inktober. And another way to warm up are contour drawings. I think that's what they're called, where you have one line, you don't pick up your pen or your pencil until you're finished. So warm up with me. Let's get to a clean page. So much cool stuff in here. Okay, here we go. Alright. So, one of the first things to do when warming up is to just draw lines, and then draw lines in between those lines. And you're supposed to do it fast to try to get warmed up, and just, get your hand moving, get it used to making a line. And then you go in the opposite direction. And of course, when it gets tight, it doesn't have to be perfectly in between. The point is that with more practice, it will get a little bit closer to what you're trying to do. Okay. I'm pretty impatient with things, so warm-ups are not a concept I necessarily like to follow. So I'll often only do these things once, but it's recommended that you do it many times before you get started. Another way to warm up is to shade, whether it's with hatching or just coloring in, but shading, just a basic object. Then you can start going into thinking about curves. And then one other technique that she did was drawing circles and then tracing over the circles to loosen up your wrist and also to start implementing some sort of control. And I'm doing this in my sketchbook because I don't want to worry about wasting paper. You know, this is what sketchbooks are for. They're for practice and messing around and warming up. At least for me, that's what they're for. Okay. And then now, what I want to do is a couple of contour drawings. So I have these little pieces of paper. They're artist tiles from the brand Studio series, Peter Popper Press. I'm not sure where I got these from, probably my mom. It says that it's good for dry and wet media. I think it's got a little bit of a vellum on it, so watercolor doesn't always come out exactly right. But it's nice and convenient for small things, and I'm going to start packing these in any orders that I get. So let me move this out of my way. Get this, and I'm going to do it in pen so I don't even think about picking up the pencil, because with pencil I have a habit of lifting up by accident. So let's go on to Pinterest. Okay, this is one of the first pictures on here. And these are meant to be quick, they're not meant to be accurate. They're just to get your, instead of getting your wrists moving, now you're getting your brain moving. Because you kind of have to plan ahead what lines you're going to make, how you're going to connect the lines. I definitely use a much more liberal technique for contour drawings where it's a bit scribbly. Wow, this is hard to do and talk at the same time. Sometimes what's nice about doing these kinds of drawings is you can go over the same lines to get back to where you started, or to avoid having a line going across the face. But what I like about these is having a random line going across the face, at least for some bits. Her face is this shape, but not this big. Let's see, let's trim it down a bit. That was a little bit of a lift. Good example of why I need to practice control so I don't lift my pen by accident. I'm spending way too much time on this one. Okay, done. Let's do the next one. Let's see. Okay. This is the next face that I found on my Pinterest feed. I still haven't quite figured out what works for me as a starting point on faces. Some people start with the eyes, some people start with the face of the shape. I know a lot of people are super opinionated about what they think is the right way to start drawing a face to make sure that you get like proportions right and everything. But I haven't really. I have trouble with consistency, where I'll tell myself, okay, this works. Need to do this next time, and then I don't do it. Next time, then I ignore what I learned. This mouth is very low. The one that I drew, not the one in the picture. I also haven't quite figured out how to draw teeth without making them look crazy. Okay, let's do one more. So I'm just looking back and forth from the paper to the picture and back to the paper and to the picture. Yeah, so that's how I warm up and get ready for a drawing. Thank you for warming up with me. If you want to see more content, go ahead and subscribe, like my videos for support, and see you next time.